session started here. So do we have a citizen forum? No. Finance review.
Good evening. Todd Netsky was not able to join us. He did just meet with the Finance Committee, but he has another board meeting he had to run off to. So I'm going to give just an overview of the finances in terms of where we are currently as of the end of February. So in looking at it, we can see that in our revenue, year to date, we're at $3,845,358, which is at 52% of anticipated to this point. Years past would range anywhere from 53 to 55, but again, just a reminder that, of course, the state does hold back 10% or so, and then we get that at the end of the year. In terms of expenditures, we're at 55% of budget. We're budgeted at $7,218,894, and we are currently at $3,968,413, so we're at 55%. As we look at our activity in other funds, so that's looking at food service, community education, and our debt service, we are right in line to where we have been in past years with each of those. And of course, with our debt service earlier, we had paid that $1.104 million on the debt service for the year. And then just looking at the summary of all of our funds, again, we are at, with our adopted budget, we are still looking at being at 146,000 in the black, if you will, for the end of the year. Year to date, we are showing, of course, that we're negative, again, because until the end of the year when we receive all the rest of the expenditures from the state. So basically, we are in line with where we would expect to be, and we are tweaking some things and getting the revised budget ready to bring to the April board meeting, as Todd has been meeting with our supervisors and myself and Jill, and just going through things by line item. And so far, it's been really positive in terms of everybody having a much clearer idea and understanding of the budget, and which is going to, of course, help us as we go into getting the FY27 budget going. So does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks. Board committees that met? We did, I know the forest committee, we did meet.
And I wouldn't mind if Ms. Castle came down here and shared a few bit because we did have the ski and snowshoe event.
We did.
Yep.
Do you want to push the button, I think, on that? Yep, you're good. Thank you. Our February ski and snowshoe event was good weather this year, and we had a good turnout and was well attended, I think. Numbers were down a little bit from last year, but still worth our while in getting out there. Our top three things, March 9th, our meeting kind of turned into a brainstorming session with just a couple of us there. But our top three things that we're working on right now are Big Bog, a big field trip for K through 5, May 12 and 13. I'll be coordinating with about 30 volunteers to make that happen for our elementary students. We're working with our local foresters on a replanting plan, and maybe our committee's going to get together with a design contest, maybe some trail names. And then third thing that we're working on is the hammock garden, and we'll have info at the open house. We'll set up a little table at the open house there. So those are top three. Good?
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. Other board committees?
No, safety and health, not right?
Health and safety. I
Health and
wasn't
safety.
able to attend myself.
Brian was here and went over the various areas that he covered. That was like 2.5 weeks ago, I suppose. I don't remember. All I know, we talked about Right On and a few other things. Lead. Yeah. he's coming again, I think, is it next month or is it May? I can't remember.
We've got another Health and Safety Committee meeting coming up, and basically each one, we go through another 5 or 6 of the items that he supports us with. We're getting ready to do another round of testing, as what was mentioned with radon and lead. Our other items like personal protection and things like that, we are in the green, so to speak, with all of those different items. And we do have different custodians and everybody assigned for inspection cycles on everything. So all of that, we are on track and on schedule with everything.
All right, next we have Superintendent Scott Fitzsimmons.
Oh, you turned it off.
So earlier in the month here on the 9th, there was a day at the Capitol with Minnesota School Board Association and Minnesota Association of School Administrators, where I had an opportunity to participate and attend a panel discussion with the Education Finance Committee members. Also met with professional organization leadership, and then I got to have individual private meetings with both Representative Duran and Senator Green, just to kind of talk about, what's happening right now legislatively, what's our story, how does that affect our district, and had some information on that to share with both of them, and that went really well. And appreciated that they were both willing to take some of their time in their days to actually meet with me individually. On the 10th was also a day at the Capitol, but this was really focused on the Northwest Service Cooperative in partnership with the Minnesota Rural Education Association. There were 19 superintendents from the Northwest region. We split up, so a group just went over and met with the Senate, and another group met with the House members. While there, the group I was in, we got to meet with Senate personnel, and we had separate meetings with Senators Kopech, Westling, Johnson, Coleman's representative, Quaid, Kunish, Rarick, and Utke. And really some positive meetings, and they appreciated that there were a number of us there. We were organized. We heard throughout the day that we had one of the largest superintendent groups of any of the regions in the state so far. So they just appreciated that, and when they see us there together, they say in numbers of more than 1 or 2, they say then that means whatever it is we're there for has to have some meaning, and folks had a chance to tell their stories and how it impacts districts. And while in a couple of these meetings, they actually sent their their aides out to go grab another senator and bring them over to be listening to some things. So we'll see where it goes, but we felt heard, so that was really great. Pre-construction contract amendments are being finalized as of today. It looks like we've got everything worked out, and our attorney was happy with how that was going, so we're looking good there. We had a great meeting with Whitseth and Kraus-Anderson to review site improvement work, specifically the sidewalks, and I do want to take the opportunity to thank board member Boyd Johnson, because his expertise and time to review the project specifications, especially with the sidewalks, those experiences and his knowledge was really important finalizing the project specifications for us. So that was good, and I think our partners with whom we're working know that we have a lot of expertise here and that we are looking over things, and that just helps us making sure we're meeting our needs and being as fiscally responsible as we can be. We're planning on starting renovation projects, of course, this summer on May 27th, as early as May 27th. We'll be using the Northside Commons entrance as our main entrance during the summer for all activities. We've received detailed schedule of all planned summer activities. We've done that internally, and I'm in the process of mapping that out on Gantt chart. So that way we can be sharing and working cooperatively with the construction manager and our contractors to ensure that, we don't step on each other's toes as much as possible. Gym folding wall. You're going to see a one-page quote. I did go out and did end up having 2 companies that gave us quotes on demoing out the folding wall, and replacing it with a curtain. So just to take a step back, the reason why this is something that needs to be done, and it is a priority, is around safety, because that folding wall is no longer safe to be folding it up any longer. The last time that was done, it had fallen off the track once. Maintenance was able to get it put back on. I think it was tried one more time after that, and it was sketchy at best.
Made some strange noises.
Yes. And we know it needs to be replaced. So instead of replacing it, which would be a huge cost, over $100,000, we're looking at demoing it and then putting up a curtain, which is on cables that draws up as what's in the multi-gym or small gym. So as I was looking, the cost of that curtain, of that style curtain, is basically $20,000. It was between $19,000 and $21,000. Demo, we had a bid from one place to demo the old wall at $24,000. We've got demo quote here from this company at just under $10,000. So, and in talking with them, and this is a company we've utilized before for basketball hoops and some other things. So this is our recommendation, and it sounds like they would be able to schedule to get the work done this summer. So with board approval, that's what we would like to do. It does fit within the budget. And I double checked that with Todd, of course, to make sure that we're okay, and we would be okay. The other item, which is a multi-page handout you have, is in regard to bus. So with our capital project levy, the plan was starting next year, so fiscal year 27, to start a bus replacement process. So what we're looking at trading off 2 buses and then purchasing a new bus. As we looked at, and John and Dale also, they looked at all the different options out there and considered, do we want to maybe look at another brand of bus or something like that? And the pricing is all very similar, and because they have the tools, they've got the software, they've got all those pieces for the international buses, and they've been serving us well. The recommendation is continue on with the international bus. You see the detailed quote there, and that's what we would be looking at. We would be looking at purchasing out of the FY27 budget, but we would want to get that order in here before the end of March because of the lead time that it would take. And I'm trying to think of what else we were going to say with the bus, but I think that was about it. Then moving forward, we'd be looking at about every other year purchasing a new bus. So over the next 10 years would be moving through the fleet then and replacing buses. Any questions about the bus information that you have in front of you?
So this whole contract or whatever it is, this is all like the options that you can't get in this, on these buses?
It's like a build sheet.
Yeah, it's a build sheet. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's the far right-hand column. That would be what we would order. And the left side column, I believe, just kind of lists out all the pieces or all the parts and options and such.
We
Yep.
kept it as fairly similar to what we've been running.
Yep.
And the only really big thing we added, since they steal the dashes out of their trucks,
Can you turn your mic on?
the only big thing we added, since they steal their dashes out of their trucks, for $450, we got driver AC in there. So it was just for that driver comfort to try and keep the drivers happy.
Keep drivers happy.
Good luck.
Quote Dale.
And then my final item, so going back on your agenda, you have a motion to approve the purchase of a new John Deere tractor. So that was something that had been built into the budget the prior year. And we currently have a 1999 John Deere 4600 with, is it 5,000? Just over 5,000 hours on it. And it's at a place where we would be ready to do some significant repairs and renovation to it, including the mower decks and things like that. So at this point, and since money had been budgeted, we felt this is a good opportunity to be moving forward with the purchase of a new tractor, which would be the John Deere 4404R. I believe I have that correct?
4044R.
4044R, thank you. And so that tractor, they actually happen to have a 2024 on the lot here. And with the government pricing and everything, you can see what we can get it at there. So it's a significant savings. The two questions that come up, and I've done since even getting this put together, I've done additional research and some checking around. They've offered a trade-in on the old tractor that basically offsets the cost of a pull-behind mower. In some conversations as recent as this afternoon, I'm really wondering that I believe that we might be able to put it out for auction on our own, and we can do that with a right of refusal. So if we don't get what we think we should get, we have right of refusal on it. But it sounds like we might be able to get more than the amount of money that's being offered on trade. So if the board just elects to approve the purchase of the tractor, I would offer that we approve the purchase of the tractor, but then direct me to pursue the other options to see if we can do better. And then also maybe explore some other options on that rear mower deck to see if it does make sense to get something with the wings, how that really budgets out. But I think that would be something if we're able to auction it ourselves or sell it ourselves, and we do get more money than what we were anticipating, then how does that maybe then come into play to offset that rear mower deck? So that would be my recommendation. Yeah, and I'll let the board, if you have any questions for me, or discuss it when it comes to the motion on your end.
The only thing I would add is, I think on that quote, it's quoted with R4 tires. I would highly recommend we go with turf tires that our current tractor has.
Turf tires on a current.
Okay, the quote that's provided to us said the R4 tires, which wouldn't be the turf tires. So maybe turf that's something I would, make sure we don't get this here with those R4 tires. Yeah, we can discuss it a bit more later, but.
Okay. Any other questions, considerations? All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Principal Mary Merchant.
Good evening, everyone. Quarter 3 ended on Friday, so grades will be coming out this week for all the students. And elementary has chosen bingo for their third quarter PBIS activity, and we will be doing that activity this Friday in the Commons area at 2 o'clock till the end of the day. So looking forward to that with the kids. We had 5 staff members and myself attend the MIEA conference last Wednesday through Friday. And teachers attended some great sessions for the teachers and were able to purchase books, or Mrs. Kraus, for example, purchased this stump with these little critters coming out of it for her ECFE program. And then the one thing Mrs. Crandall and I really look for with the vendors is to be able to get the grad stoles, and then our seniors get recognition appreciation blankets when we have our awards day. And mark your calendars if they aren't yet. April 9th is the pre-K through 12th grade showcase, and that'll be 3:30 to 7. And Bears Den will be open. The Suicide Awareness Prevention Committee is going to sponsor bingo again. And elementary classrooms, in my opinion, go above and beyond with what each of those teachers have the kids prepare to present to parents that evening. And then high school teachers will also have things, whether it's group work or projects that the kids have done to share with parents. MCA testing season starts March 30th and goes through May 8th. And elementary teachers do that with their students. High school teachers are English and science and math teachers will be doing that with their students, and then special ed teachers will be doing a pull-aside for that with their kids. And then we're looking at April 2nd for course registration for the high school students, grades 6 through 11. ACT is April 14th, prom is April 25th, and I don't know where the school year is going, so a lot going in, and wait till Sam starts on the sports, so it's going to be a busy, wonderful 9 weeks coming here. Any questions?
What day is graduation off the top of your head?
May 22nd,
Early.
6 o'clock. And if you already want to let me know you'll be there, that'd be great. But otherwise, I'll be asking in April. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Athletics. Sam Lyon.
Hello. So you have our spring coaching roster up there. One small correction, Brian Sather, not Beef Sather. We all know him as Beef. His name's Brian. Apologies on that. But a great, as usual, great coaching lineup. Really excited about the crowd that we have. Familiar faces as well as a couple new positions, or a couple new folks in positions there. We have slowly, we had went to an indoor track meet at UND last week, so that is the first of our spring sports. The rest we are all patiently waiting for. In this moment, would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to the maintenance and custodial crews for all of their prep work that gets us to this point in snow blowing, trying to get those fields as clear as possible so that the sun can do its work whenever it will decide to show up. So thank you to that crew for making that possible. And at this point, we just wait. You know, I know that softball was going to attempt to go outside, and then it started snowing. So we, as always, will be creative in the gyms for as long as we need to, as well as then talking about a potential scrimmage over in Warroad for softball on their turf. They're doing the same thing we are, though, trying to wait to see if it's soft enough to play on so that nobody loses his teeth. So yeah, we're, like I said, in a waiting game, but we know that well. Once it starts, it'll be fast and furious, but it's a fun season because everybody is more than happy to be outside, so ready for it to happen. Pool update. I won't steal David's thunder, and it is great thunder. He's doing an incredible job at the pool right now. Heard from him at our cabinet meeting this morning, tracking above our March averages over last year, which great on his part for keeping up the data. Really appreciate Lisa Beckstrand she kept immaculate attendance records over the course of her time, which allows us to have really good data for what is working for him as well as what is not working. And so excited to be able to, have that kind of feedback, instantaneous feedback. He's got several programs happening currently. Senior swim, which is like 2:30 in the afternoon for the senior crowd who wants to come and not be around at open swim. He's had a good turnout there. He's got a Bears swim club, which has got a small number, 10 kids in it, but he is doing some active laps in a pool, things like that. He's got 4 kids who are doing junior lifeguard training. The intent on that is that they work towards being able to complete the physical requirements for the lifeguard training, which will happen here in April. So the intent is you got to swim, and he said that to us today, but I'm not going to remember the real specifics, but 150 meters, you got to dive for a brick at a certain depth, tread water without your hands, that sort of thing. So he is thinking much more big picture than I probably would in terms of training young 14-year-olds to be able to take the lifeguard class so that they are ready to be lifeguards when they turn 15. So excited for that. Lifeguard class, he's got 2 adults signed up for that as well as those 4 students. So keeping the pipeline going in terms of available lifeguards, which is great. 2 short, not actionable things that I just wanted to mention and add. Pre-K, we're taking applications. The model has worked relatively well. We'll continue that. I probably will have a better or more clear update for you later in the spring, if not more like June, in terms of what our numbers are as we take those. And the other fun thing I've got going on is we're doing a March Madness pool at the school. So students 6 through 12 and staff were invited to submit a pool. AAA is doing some prizes. There was no money put down by anybody participating, just so that everybody is clear publicly. I have been joking over last week as I was trying to get brackets, like, this is me creating my own fun, right? These are the things that will keep us somewhat sane over the course of the March doldrums. So, as well as creating some basketball buzz in the school. We started a few years ago when Caitlin Clark was at her peak. Just was really fun to celebrate women's basketball in that way. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Any questions for me?
Did softball have a JV last year?
No.
No, okay.
So we've got a large number of ninth graders that we're excited about. It'll be a little bit of a like JV when we can find teams, because a lot of schools our size are doing the same thing. Do we have enough to do it on the same night? And baseball is actually doing the same thing too.
Oh, cool.
Can't necessarily play the same time as varsity because we don't have that many kids, but trying to get that crowd, 8th, 9th, 10th graders, as much time as possible.
Are we still short on lifeguards?
We find that it's a seasonal thing. So we had somebody who was doing mornings regularly, but they then went back to softball. So you have some ebb and flow based on what people's availability is. David is working on recruiting specifically for certain, like it would be nice to find a lifeguard who wants to show up for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, open lap swim in the morning, because then it alleviates pressure on his day from leaving at his house at 4 a.m., getting here by 5, you know, that sort of thing. So are we short on numbers? It's getting much better. I think there's parts of the day that become a little bit harder to fill, if that makes sense. And he and I work pretty closely in terms of what his hours are, so that we're trying to be creative, and some of that might happen in the summer, trying to be creative so that he is not putting in a day of 4:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., covering both morning swim and open swim. So trying to be we're getting better. We're not quite there in terms of in terms of always having enough around. Does that answer your question? It's a little vague, but.
But maybe the couple that are getting certified
That's the hope.
might be able to?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because then if David can work in an open swim into his kind of weekly hours without having to do a 14-hour day. So that's the goal anyway. Because there is some expectation for his job description that he covers, that he does some lifeguarding, right, for those shifts. But he shouldn't be doing all of the lifeguarding.
So one other thing too, David has been doing a fantastic job. I've been hearing a lot about.
Yeah, that's great.
More so this year than I have in past. So he's been doing a good job.
Yeah, that's great to hear. If you see him, pass that along.
Yep.
But I will also.
Yep, thank you.
He's fun to work with. He's got a lot of creative ideas. Appreciate the enthusiasm. So fun to have him there. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks.
All right, 6:30, we'll adjourn. We'll be back at 6:45. business to include 7G, approve the purchase of a new international school bus for fiscal year 2027. 7H, to approve the demolition of the gym folding wall and replacement with a curtain. Need a motion in a second.
Make the motion.
I will second this.
Johnson. Second by Severs.
Yes.
Any discussion?
Do we need to correct Brian Sather's name before we approve it?
It's
corrected.
It's,
It is,
yeah, it's just on the, his notes, I think it was wrong.
no, so on our sheet, it's, on the crib sheet, it's correct, but on the agenda, it's not correct.
Correct.
Am I
Yeah.
correct? Okay,
Yep, it's correct on the,
so we need to correct the agenda, yes. Our crib sheet has the correct typing, but this agenda does
Oh,
not.
Yep.
So we also need to add that then,
oh, I see what you're saying. Thank
right?
you. Yep.
Okay,
Okay, we'll add that.
good.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Need board presenters. Written communication, no. Old business, no. New business. Need a motion and a second to approve the February 23, 2026 regular board meeting minutes, or did we already do that one?
No.
Okay, that was
I'll
the
make-
motion.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion.
Motion by Robin.
I'll second.
Second by Kay Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion and a second to approve invoices, financial statements, bank reconciliation, wire transfers, and purchase card statements. Motion by B. Johnson,
I'll second.
second by K. Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion and a second to approve appointments. I need some help here, so softball, varsity, Brian Sather, assistant, Austin Heimstra, JV, Tracy Dunn, junior high, Jeremy Davidson, baseball, varsity, Tony Brous, assistant, Eric Tangy, junior high, Rylan Hendrickson, junior high, Chuck Merchant, track boys and girls, varsity, JP Sweet, varsity assistant, Alan Cobble, junior high, Nick Otto, junior high, Jen Otto, golf, boys and girls, varsity, Sam Lyon, assistant, John Swanson, and junior high, Michaela, is it Brock? Brock.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Kay Johnson. Second by Boyd Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion and a second to approve the addition of Todd Netsky to the Border Bank account.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Sansegaard,
I'll second.
second by Kay Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion and a second to approve the policy updates as presented.
Mr. Hack,
Yes.
my apologies for the interruption. I just wanted to save you. Since as presented, you will not need to read all the separate policies.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. I was gonna read all these if you wanna discuss any of them,
There's
or
16.
need a motion and a second.
Make the motion.
Motion by B. Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Severs. Any discussion on these policy updates?
They're all just, I mean, for the most part, standard with no.
They are-
nothing that deviates
They are all technical updates. Nothing is changed in substantive or anything in their meaning. It's just some, it might be a word here or there or a reference to a now updated Minnesota statute. Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion and a second to approve the purchase of a John Deere tractor 4044R.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Kay Johnson,
I can second.
second by Hayes. Any discussion?
Do we also want to add that we direct the superintendent? Does that need to be part of the motion, or we discuss it? Greg, I'll let you in on
If we
this.
change the motion, we have to fail this motion with our discussion, so then we let it die, and then we add another motion, whatever you're proposing,
So,
if we want to change the motion.
I don't object to the purchase of the tractor itself, as outlined in the quote that was provided with our packet. I feel like where there needs to be a bit more discussion is what do we want to see for a mower? This, tractor doesn't have a belly mower option on it, so within the quote, it's looking to purchase a PTO-driven rear pull-behind mower. I think it's 7 foot, and the question that comes to my mind is should we be looking at a wider mower for the behind, or a batwing mower, something more appropriate for covering such a large area and ground, so we're not using the tractor for the 30-some years that we're going to have it or more, like the other one, going up and down, up and down, up and down, putting all the extra hours, wages, fuel on the tractor, when we could be just having a wider mower.
In your discussion, did you guys figure out how wide the mower this thing could handle?
So, I think it needs a little bit more research, like so John Deere, they have, batwing mowers, if we're looking to stick with the brand. They make a 12 foot, they make, wider ones. 12 foot's probably, looking at the specs, would be the largest size you can get with this 44 horse tractor. But they might make something wider than a 7 foot, or they might make a little bit, wider fixed one behind it.
Quick question that may save us all time is, so if we approve this, we are literally just approving the tractor. We're not approving the tractor and the mower, or am I misunderstanding that?
Correct.
So the quote that has been provided to us included also the quote for the tractor, and also with that same quote included the mower. And so I think the intention of the request was to request the board to review and approve the purchase of the tractor with the mower. So the issue is if we move forward today, as the language speaks in here, it just says to approve the purchase of the John Deere tractor 4044R, which I would be comfortable for.
I'll just stick with what my intentions were with the information that was provided to the board. The motion is for the tractor 4044R. However, I did provide a quote that includes everything, so I think it would be, just for the sake of clarity, if the board is approving the 4044R but directs me to further investigate what we do with the old one and or the size of the rear mower, then I would recommend that the board, that this motion is defeated and revised to purchase of the 44R alone as quoted from the quote that's attached. Again, just to make it clear, my intent was that whole package. So I would ask that if the board is saying yes, the tractor, but we would ask you to further investigate the mower and the selling of the old mower or the old tractor, then I would ask that maybe you don't approve this motion and do a new motion that's more specific.
Do you want us to just kill the whole thing tonight, give you a chance to look at it and bring it back next month, or do we need to move on this?
I can certainly do that, yeah, you would not need to move on it right now.
Might be the best.
Yeah, because the other part that he's getting at is the quote also included the trade-in for our current tractor, and perhaps we could entertain selling that in a different form or fashion than trading it in.
I guess I
So-
would stipulate, and I may be a stickler, but the way it's written, to me, we're approving the tractor alone.
I mean, that's how I see it too.
So, because we're looking at other mowers, I'd say let's just kill it and give you time to regroup and come back. Sounds like that's what you want to do too.
Well, I'm okay either way, I guess I'm going by, my intention was the package as presented, and that wasn't specific enough in the motion, so, yeah.
And the package that you presented in the quote, there's nothing in that quote that says you need to trade in the tractor, you need to purchase the mower in order to get the price of the tractor at the price quoted, right?
That's my understanding.
He left.
I'd
They left.
Yeah.
still go with, even if that was your intention, that's not what it says. So I'd still say that even if we approved it, we would just be approving the mower alone, the tractor alone.
Well, I think, given the conversation that's happened, or the discussion that's happened, that if you approve it as verbatim, then that's okay. The fact that there's been this discussion, I feel that we are in a good place. I would just not feel right if it was approved with the assumption of that it's the quote that was provided, the whole package. If you're approving the purchase of the 44R, period, then that motion would be okay.
And that's what I'm comfortable moving forward with, just the tractor today, because the quote is itemized. It's not all as a package, the tractor specifically stayed on with the cost.
You want us to approving the tractor won't make any difference. All we're doing is approving purchasing it. Doesn't mean we're telling you to purchase it. It means that you can purchase it. So that'll still give you room to make the deal. We'll approve it tonight. If we approve it tonight, we'll be approving the tractor alone as stated, as the itemized price. And then you can still move on from the mower. Okay, everybody good with that?
Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
I'm very comfortable with that.
Okay,
Yep.
good discussion.
Got our hash out.
Yeah, all right. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion and a second to approve the purchase of a new international school bus for fiscal year 2027.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by B. Johnson, second by Hack. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion and a second to approve the demolition of the gym folding wall and replacement with a curtain.
Make a motion.
Motion by K. Johnson. Second by B. Johnson. Any discussion?
When did they say they could do this by, or when was it?
Summer.
This summer. Summer? Okay.
Other discussion? No, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And any other business?